भजहु रे मन श्री नंदनंदन अभय चरणार विंद रे।
श्री
दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे तरहो ये भव सिंधु रे। शीतातप भक्त बरीषण वेदि नयामिनी जागिरे। शीतातप विफले से विनु कृपण दुर्जन चपल सुख लभ लागी रे। अभय चरणार विंद रे। वेदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन पीछे की आचे परती तीरे। वेदन यौवन कामल जल जल जीवन तलमल भजहु हरि पद नीति रे। भजहु हरि पद नीति। श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दास्य रे। पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे। पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र श्री जगन्नाथ बल सुभद्रा मारण श्री श्री गौर श्री बालाजी की हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So your exams are over now for all of you? It's holidays now? End of? Oh, end of February. Okay. You see, these are the 10 benefits of mastering the mind. I'll say a few words about each of them. When I speak about each of this, you all can keep in your memory the examples I give you. And later, you can recollect the concepts by first remembering which one? Concept or the example? Example first. Why examples are more easy to remember? They are stories or analogies or examples. Then it will easily lead you to the concept. Concepts are more difficult to keep in mind. See, this is actually one sentence. Somebody can read this whole sentence, give them the mic. It's only one sentence only, but they are divided into 10 points. Yeah,
Vedic heritage lays foundation in self-discipline for
Vedic heritage lays foundation in
self-discipline for live and let live and responsible behavior in difficult situations, bringing success and harmony loved by all.
What is so special about Vedic heritage? We will tell you something from the Stanford University research. At one point of time, the American business schools, they were finding that the techniques and tools which they teach in their colleges are not producing very high-class managers in comparison to the Japanese business schools. So they wanted to know why. So they made a team from Stanford and they sent to Japan. One observation they made was that the Japanese industries were, the Japanese colleges, business schools were laying emphasis on things like integrity, cooperative working, family culture, and lateral service, we call it, which means helping one another. And also these kind of values. So they realized that the values are helpful in the long run. One example I will tell you. You know, there were two shops which were started. Two bakery shops were started. Bakery shop A, bakery shop B. So the bakery shop A, the fellow wanted to make a lot of profit. So of course he would make the bakery, and sometimes the bread would have fungus. He would just take a brush and remove the fungus, and he would sell it. So he was making monthly 40,000-50,000 rupees profit. The other shop man was a man of integrity. As soon as he would see fungus coming, he will throw away the bread. So he was only making about 10 to 20,000 rupees profit, because that way the unsold bread was getting thrown up. Correct? Now he was losing the money for that. So whom would you consider as intelligent? A fellow or B fellow? Yeah. B means a man who is willing to accept a smaller profit. Correct? No?
Because in the long run, then the people will understand that he is cheating us, and then they'll start going to.
Hey, mic. There's no mic available. Only one is there or two are there? One you keep this side, one you keep that side. Yeah. Please speak in the mic. Yeah.
Yes, so B is more intelligent than A in this case, because in the long run, people will understand that this guy is cheating us, the A, and then they'll go to B. So then he'll be the only person there, and his profits will probably be more than how much A had in the first place.
And that's what precisely happened. You know what happened? A was making a lot of money, but then people who ate the bread with fungus, they got food poisoning. And then they were admitted in the hospital. And then the word spread around. People said, oh, this shop, they are more money-minded people. They just want to multiply the profits. And for that matter, they're ready to allow food poisoning to happen. So the people crowding in the shop A gradually reduced. And instead, they all started migrating towards shop B. So shop B was making 20,000 profit before. Now the shop B, which was earlier 20,000, now it became 80,000 now. The other fellow, slowly he had to close down the shop because nobody was going there. He lost it. So what do you learn from this story, which I told you now? From this example, what do you learn? Yes, give the mic to him.
You should not earn money by cheating others, because in the long run, it will never help you.
Very good lesson. Thank you. That means, we need integrity. So integrity is one value. Correct, no? Yeah. Similarly, another value I'll tell you is lateral service, which means not only you take care of your own work, you are also willing to extend yourself to reach out to your friend and help. So in that connection, I'll tell you another little story I'll tell you. See, in one farmhouse, a farmer was living, and there was a pig, and there was a bull, and there was also a cock. They were all living in the same place. In the same farm, there was also a rat also. One day, the rat came to the other three and told, hey, do you know the lady has put a, what do you call it? Not a rat trap. There is one steel wire kind of thing which hits the rat and kills the rat. You know that? That kind of thing is also there. Sometimes people catch a rat and leave it. Other times they hit it and kill it also. You know that? That kind of thing they have. Yeah. So she had put that because she thought that the rat will eat the grains and everything. So the rat became horrified. What, in the darkness of the night, I get hit by that, I'll be on the spot, I'll be killed. So he went to the cock and said, hey cock, they have put this for me. Cock said, I won't get caught in that. Why should I bother about it? He said. Then he went to the pig. Pig said, ha ha ha, pig laughed. See, look at you, how tiny you are. Therefore you are so afraid. I'm grown up, I'm big enough, he said. Then he went to the bull, he said. Bull said, I have no time for such worries like yours. If you don't like this place, get out and go somewhere you want. Like that he said. So the rat thought, nobody is bothering about me. What to do? And immediately within the next 2 days, the night the sound came. Pah! Sound came like that. Immediately the lady of the house got up at 10 o'clock at night. She thought, now the rat is caught, she thought. So when she arrived near that place, it was not a rat, it was snake. Which was caught, and the snake bit her because she was trying to put her feet close to that. It hit her. She screamed loudly, and the husband put on the light and saw her bitten by a snake. She got sick. She was called when the doctor was called and everything. Immediately, the husband said, many relatives have come to see her. So cut the murgi, he said. Cut the cock. And the cock was cut and cooked. Now she was not getting better. Even after 10, 12 days, she got more and more serious. Her body started swelling and becoming more poisonous. Then more and more relatives started coming. They were wondering whether she would survive or not. Then he told, now cut the pig also, he said. Because more relatives have come, we have to feed them. Finally, she died after 11 days. Then all relatives came. Now he said, cut the bull also. So everybody was cut except rat. Isn't it? Because all these three guys were never concerned about the rat. So if you're living in a community, if you don't care about others, you only care about yourself, tomorrow we may be the victim. You understand, no? So this is called lateral service, which you also think about others, and when you want to flourish yourself. You understand this lesson? Correct, no? Yeah. Like once in India, number one corn winner for producing corn. You know, the newspaper people came to his house to take report, and they were surprised to know this corn winner, he's also giving the same corn for planting in the 4 neighborhoods, this side, this side, this side, and this side. And they asked, hey, your corn is like a gold. How is it that you are giving it to the neighbors? How are you sharing this? He said, if I don't give them, the insects from their place will come and spoil my corn also, and I will not be the number one winner. So I want to make sure that all the 4 sides, my corns will be protected. That's what I'm giving, he said. So by serving others, you also ultimately you get protected. You understand the point? So they saw these type of values when they went to Japan. Who? The Stanford University research. They came back to America and said, hey, come on, now let us change our training programs. Instead of giving only techniques and tools, let us give them values and morals and ethics, business ethics and all, let us teach. Otherwise, our managers are, not succeeding in the long run. So then life went on. So when they concluded, they said, we were only saying my intelligence and your hands. That was American style approach. My head and all of your hands, which means what? My intelligence and your cooperation. That was the slogan before. After going to Japan, they changed it. Let us all use our hands as well as our heads also. Bring your heads also. That means we are willing to open our hearts and minds to listen to others also. God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So let's listen also. Like that they said. But then later on, even Japanese industry started nosediving. Then Japanese and Americans, they came to India to find out how, Indians are many Indians are considered very good labor in America because of various qualities, I'll tell you. Indian culture itself teaches us tolerance. Indian culture teaches us humility. Indian culture teaches us family culture also. You will see that. For example, in a train, if a fan is not moving, what will you do? Anybody knows? You take a comb. You take a comb and hit it, then it rotates. Correct, no? You do that. Many people. Any average Indian knows that. Similarly, you want to start a scooter, it's not starting. What do you do? You tilt it like this. And if a train doesn't come for 4 hours, what do you do in the platform? You spread a cloth and just sleep. When the train comes, you travel. So Indians know tolerance. They know how to adjust themselves to situations. And that is why even internationally they are wanted in many places. So they came to India and they wanted to know one thing. How are the Indian sadhus having so many disciples who put their sweat and toil in working hard for them without taking any salary, which is technically called in Sanskrit by one name. Anybody knows? Seva, correct. It's called seva. Seva means it's voluntary. It's done lovingly with no expectation or reward in return. And you feel privileged and you feel grateful for that seva that Guru gives you. So they wanted the same feelings in the employees working in a company, their companies. He's saying they didn't want to give money to them. He's saying they want to give less money and want to get more work done. But they want their employees to have that type of feeling. But employees are coming for more and more money. And they do less work and want more money. So employees do less work and want more money. And employers want to give how much money? Less money and want more work. So it's like, push and pull was happening. So they wanted to learn. And one thing they learned in India, the Gurujis, these people are themselves selfless. They're very pure-hearted. They want to awaken the value system in the hearts of their employees and the hearts of the disciples. And therefore the disciples, when, for example, the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these 4 classes, if you see, it's based on what? psychophysical nature. Correct, no? Guna karma vibhakasha, Krishna says. According to your quality and according to your natural propensity. So when people will act according to this, they feel, which means, it is said, uh, you love what you do, it is said, and you do what you love, it is said. So do what you love means varna. Varna means what? Do what you love. So how many of you like to study Gita and tell others you like? We have, let us say, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 of them. Okay. How many of you like to organize or manage or coordinate? You like? How many of you? There are another 4, 5 like that. Yeah. How many of you like to count money and stock more? Yeah. There are 4, 5. How many of you say that, Prabhuji, don't ask me all these things. Whatever I am told, I will do. Jo bola so karo. Okay, there are a few. See, we have about. So in this way, now you all have raised a hand for a certain thing. And if you have a work or job according to this, as per your choice, that is called as, you do what you love. Now, these are things which you love, you raised hand for. And if you do, that's called varna, we call it. So therefore, in India, people are happily situated when they act according to their varna. And when they go to ashrama, Guru actually teaches them not only how to do your varna and make your money, but he also teaches them how to go back home, back to Godhead. So they become very grateful to Guru that you have put us in a state of consciousness where we are, our body, our mind, our intelligence, everything is peaceful and happy. And you are also awarding us the eternal benefit, Amritam. So become very grateful. So therefore it is said, in America, people were bringing their hands. In Japan, they were bringing their heads. In India, people were bringing their hearts. That's what they said. Therefore, Westerners are coming to India for that. That's called the first one, Vedic heritage. Second one, foundation. See, when you go to somebody's house, they may take you around the house and show you. Does anybody dig the house and show you the foundation? No. But which is the most important part of the house? Foundation. Correct, no? But without foundation, can you build a very big skyscraper building? You cannot. In the same manner, the values, the morals, the ethics, the spirituality, and these things are actually foundation which people often tend to ignore. Correct, no? And, money making, having a big bungalow, having a big car, having a big following, becoming popular in Facebook or something, and getting a lot of likes. These things people give a lot of importance. Correct, no? So what is important, they ignore it. What is not that important, they give too much attached importance to it. Imagine somebody wants to build a very big house without laying foundation. What will happen? The whole thing will collapse. So therefore, if you master the mind, eventually you will be able to lay the foundation. So how is it connected to the mastering the mind? I will tell you. For example, a flood cannot do any good. Can it do any good? Like tsunami, can it do any good? Tsunami only swallowed 3.8 lakh people. On the other hand, a dam can do great good. You agree? A dam is actually stored water, which is stored energy, conserved energy. Then you can release water and use it for irrigation purposes. So, mastering the mind means, all of you please repeat, save energy and spend energy for attaining the goal. This is what happens. So the Vedic life teaches you that, if you give an input, the output cannot be more than the input. Therefore, in input, what you should do, you should save energy. Like, for example, when I become angry, I'm saving energy or spending energy? Yeah, isn't it? When I become greedy, I am saving energy or spending energy? Yeah. If I overeat prasad, I am saving energy or spending energy? See, when you eat prasad, after eating prasad, what you should do, ideally speaking? Like lorry driver is eating in a motel, correct, no? After eating, what does he do? He goes and sits in the seat of the driver and goes to sleep. If he sleeps, what will happen? No, if he has overeaten and he is going and sitting in the lorry and sleeping in the lorry while driving, what will happen? Crash, accident will happen. But generally, you see, they eat moderately and then they can drive well. That means after eating, you should get energy. Energy is defined as capacity to do work. Correct, no? That means after eating prasad, you should do work. But after eating prasad, if you are sleeping, that means you are not Actually saving. Huh? Overeating. So all these 6 items you all know: Atyahara, Prayasasya, and then Pajalpa, and then Niyamagraha, and then Janasanga, and Davalya. These 6 are examples of spending energy, not saving energy. And what saves energy? Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya, Tattat Karma Pravartana, Sangatyaga, Satovritti. So this will help you to conserve your energy like a dam. So Atyahara, Prayasasya, other things are like a flood. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya is like dam. So you want to be like a dam or like a flood? So our passion has to be protected by the dam. And that is done by those 3 barriers which they put in a dam. Is like the parents, the teachers, and God. So that's like the dam. Your parents put some restrictions or they don't put any restrictions? What do you think? And teachers also put some restrictions? And God also put some restrictions? And the restrictions ultimately for our good. That's how you master the mind. You understand, no? So now we discussed about the foundation. Then I told you about the self-discipline, which is what we are talking now. See, the word disciple in Sanskrit, anybody knows what is the Sanskrit word for disciple? Where the mic? You have to tell in the mic. In the mic, yeah. In the mic. Shishya, yeah. So what is the dhatu from where this word shishya is coming? Shiksha? No. Take the mic. In the mic you have to say. The shishya comes from the word shas dhatu. Shas means discipline. Shishya means one who is willing to be disciplined by Guru. Shishtachar, we say, no? There also shish comes. That means the etiquettes and rules and disciplines that you have to follow. Shastra, everybody knows the meaning of the word Shastra? Weapons. And Shastra? Scriptures. So all of them are coming from only one root word called Shas Dhatu. So you can decide what you want to follow in life. You want to follow the word of God or the sword of God? Word or sword? Which one you want? Word. Those who follow word are intelligent. Or those who wait for the sword to punish, they are intelligent. Who is intelligent? Word of God. So if you follow Shastra, you are happy. If you don't follow Shastra, then there is Shastra. Then you get punished. Correct, no? You can see that. So that is called self-discipline. See, self, the word is using. Why self-discipline? Actually, we all can decide to discipline ourselves for whose good? Our own good. Correct, no? For our own good. We only benefit by... Just like if you have seen in the garden, they trim with a big scissor. You have seen that? In the morning. So you like the trimmed garden or you like garden where they don't do any trimming and the plant grows in all directions? Which one you like? Correct, no? So we want to be like trimmed devotees or we want to be like unkempt devotees. So that is called self-discipline in every aspect. In your eating habit, in your sleeping habit, in your rising habit, in your study habit, in your playing habit, in your chanting habit, in your behavior and everything. So in that connection, the first thing that comes is accepting the authority of Guru. That comes first. Like when you go to school, as soon as you go in the first day, they put a book in front of you and they tell you to accept the book. Correct, no? Is there any of you here who says, no, I won't accept any book, I don't accept any teacher, I will research on my own? Do you say that? You accept a teacher, you accept a school, you accept the books. Same manner, Vedas are the books, Guru is the teacher, correct? Huh? And so we accept the knowledge. And then from there comes all good things will come from there. Once you accept, like Arjuna said, Shishyaste aham shadhimam tvam prapannam. He surrendered to Krishna. And then everything else follows. Then from there, you get good behavior. Behavior when you say, how you deal with others. How should you deal with a senior, equal and a junior? Anybody know shloka from Bhagavatam? That's one famous verse. Gunadikan vadam lipset anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichen na tapai rabi bhuyate. See, Duryodhana, how did he deal with his junior, who is Draupadi? Did he deal with her properly? He brought her in the public to disrobe a woman in the public. What a shameful thing. How did he deal with Yudhishthira Maharaj? Did he deal with him respectfully? Oh, he wanted to drive him out to forest again. So he didn't deal with the senior or junior properly. How did he deal with equal Bhima? What was his feeling? He poisoned him and he wanted to see him killed. On the contrary, let us see Yudhishthira Maharaj. How did he deal with his senior Dhritarashtra? But Dhritarashtra actually was mistreating Pandavas. Still Yudhishthira respectfully treated him. Correct, no? Similarly, how did Yudhishthira Maharaj deal with Duryodhana? As a brother. Once when he was about to be captured by the Gandharvas, so he dealt with him like, he said, we are 5, they are 100. When family trouble comes, we are 105. He said, correct, no? Yeah, you can see that. So, therefore, this is about behavior. Yudhishthira's ideal behavior is very disciplined behavior he shows, Yudhishthira Maharaj. And in the same manner, habits also. What type of habits we cultivate? Like in ISKCON, what are the 4 bad habits we are told to give up? Who knows? Very easy to remember. Either you can say, gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme, you know that? What is gimme? You have to give up. You have to give up the gimme. G stands for, one you can say, gambling. I stands for, yeah, and M stands for?
Meat eating.
And I stands for?
Illicit sex.
Yeah, these are the 4 gimme you have to give up. So, these are bad habits. And then good habits, what you have to do is A, B, C, D, E. Correct, no? You know that. Everybody knows that, right? A for association, B for Bhagavad Gita, and C for chanting, and D for devotional diet. And then E for etiquettes and behavior. So, these are good habits and bad habits I told you now. So, I told you about behavior, I told you about habits, and then I will tell you about self-discipline, because that's what's written in the 3rd point. You know, Hanuman, when he was told to go to Lanka by Jambavan, first thing he prayed to Suryadev, who is his guru. Then he prayed to his father Vayu. Then he prayed to Lord of his life. Who is that? Ram. And he begged for their blessings. And then on the way, as you all know, last time I told you also, what is the Mainaka? Is it? He didn't take the comfort. That means he was disciplined. Just before the exam day, I saw one of my friends playing cricket. I asked him, why are you playing cricket? Tomorrow's exam. He said, tension, both tension ho gaya abhi. He said, good idea to play cricket day before exam. That means, is he disciplined or not? He's not disciplined. Correct, no? See, you all told that overeating is not a discipline. Prajalpa doing is not discipline. In the same manner, so the self-discipline has to be cultivated. Hanuman is a very good example of self-discipline. So, now let's go further. Live and let live. There is one very cruel tyrant who was a dictator who did not allow one race of people to live peacefully. Anybody knows? Hitler, yeah, isn't it? He killed 1 million Jews, isn't it? How many? 10 million Jews he killed. 6 million Jews he killed. Such cruel. Live and let live. On the other hand, Yudhishthira Maharaj always was, he was ruling the whole world, but he allowed the kings to rule their own areas. He said, you all rule in your own areas and be happy. In fact, Yudhishthira Maharaj allowed even Ashwatthama to be let live. Correct, no? Ashwatthama, who killed Draupadi's 5 sons, even Draupadi was ready to allow him to let him to live. So is it not a very amazing quality? Yeah. Give the mic to him. Yeah.
Prabhuji, but sometimes let live might also backfire, right?
And that backfired in the case of Ashwatthama. Because Krishna had another plan to show the Brahmastra sent on Parikshit. Otherwise, how Parikshit will be called as Vishnurat? He will be protected. And another Brahmastra was sent towards Pandavas. Krishna cancelled it with his Sudarshan Chakra also. So in this way, Krishna wanted Ashwatthama to survive and then do little more mischief so that he can do very good pastimes of showing us Bhakta Vatsala Govinda. Correct, no? He did that. Of course, ideally what one should do is, you should not get cheated, nor should you cheat. Rather, you should arrive at a solution where you will, you will arrive at a balanced one. It comes in the Mahabharata when Bhishma Pitama tells a story to Yudhishthira. A cat was caught in the neck, in the hip, and in the back. He had gone into some wire, 3 wires like this, and he couldn't come out. He wanted to eat something. He got caught. He couldn't come out. Then one rat came out of the hole, and then the rat saw that the cat is caught, so I am free now. I can enjoy. He was jumping. But then an eagle at the top of the branch of a tree saw the rat. Now the rat thought, the eagle is going to fly towards me and eat me up. What to do now? At that time, he made a collaboration with the Cat. So that time cat agreed to keep him under his body. Huh? Correct, no? So at that time, rat told him, you save my life, I'll save your life. Although we both are enemies, right now let us become friends. He made a collaboration like that. Correct, no? So now, after the eagle went away, the rat came out, and the rat was thinking something in the mind, and the cat was urging him, hey, leave me. No, you said you will save my life immediately. And the rat said, wait a minute, I need to little bit pray to my super soul in my heart. Because if I save you, you might eat me. Correct? No, that's what he was thinking in the mind. So how many of you say that the rat should immediately run into the hole and not save the cat? Let us take what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them say that you should save its life. But the cat was already shouting, saying that, you traitor, you hypocrite, you are not keeping your promise. I saved your life from the eagle, and now you are not saving my life. So this goes to show that you are a cheater. So imagine you are the rat and he is shouting at you as a cheater. Will it not pain your heart? So then what you should do? How many of you say that, Prabhu, I will just cut all the wires and tell the cat that I am hoping and praying and have trust in you that you will not kill me. You will do that. Huh? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Okay. So see, these two are two extremes. This one party which raised hand, they said that you hell with you, cat. We will save our lives. That they are on which side? Selfless side or selfish side? Selfish side. And the other party who says, I'll put full trust in the cat, and even if he eats me, no problem. I should be a man of integrity. I will just save the cat. Is saying. So can anybody suggest a midway between the two? Acha, who hasn't spoken? Yeah, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. The cat, he'll save the cat and run away directly.
How do? Because who runs fast? Cat runs fast or rat runs fast?
But
yeah. Then what will you do? Cat will catch him. He cannot run into the hole. Before he goes, he will catch him.
Yeah, the story is there in the Panchatantra. The cat will wait, and the rat will wait till the hunter comes, and then he'll free the cat, because the cat will be more focused on saving its own life from the hunter before eating the cat.
Yeah, yes, you want to add to that? You want to add? No. Yeah, let us see what he says. Yeah, you are right actually. You are right, yeah? Give here also.
In the story, it's the rat comes. The hole is very close to the wires. so as soon as the rat frees the cat, he'll immediately run inside, because it still takes some time for the cat to process.
Okay. So in that case, rat is more faster, you mean to say. Actually, what Bhishma says, he says, the rat cut the first and third wire. See, this wire he cut, the tail side wire he cut, middle one he didn't cut. So the cat was doing like this. How to come out of the, why you didn't cut this? Rat said, yes, I will cut that, but not now. And the cat understood. He's a very smart fellow. So he called all kinds of bad names to him. But rat was smiling and said, see, I'm a man of integrity. I chant Hare Krishna. Don't think, I'm going to cheat you, my dear cat. My life will be saved, your life will be saved. Wait and watch how I do it. Then the hunter was coming, 10th tree, 9th tree, 8th tree, 5th tree. The cat was screaming, calling all bad names. And when the hunter came to the second tree, only one tree gap was there. At that time, the rat cut his wire. Immediately the cat ran into the tree top. And then rat went into hole. So both the lives were saved. So, see, when hunter comes very near, for the cat, which is more important? Saving life is important, not eating rat. When hunter is not there, then eating becomes important. So it's smart, isn't it? So in this way, the rat followed this policy of live and let live. He followed. Jiva correct, no? Okay, the fifth one is responsible. See, how many of you like to play more than study more? Honestly. Okay, there are about 6, 8 hands. Oh, more than that now. I have about 10, 12 hands. After seeing others, they are also raising hand very happily. See, therefore, now a question for you is, because you like to play more than study more, when you have to study, you study cheerfully or you study morosely? Huh? Cheerfully, yeah. What is the reason behind your cheerfulness? Who can speak? Take the mic. Because you said you like to play more, but still you are studying cheerfully. Why?
Because after playing games and after playing, now it's time for study, and in that time at least study something seriously.
Okay.
So, therefore,
So you will do it as a duty because it's your duty now. Because your mom allowed you to play. Now she expects you to study. So you will study because it's your duty. You study because it's your expectation of your parents. Correct? Now what else?
Well, I think it is this way that if I study cheerfully now, then in my exams I'll get good marks, and after that my parents will allow me to play how much ever I want.
Yeah. Very good. Anybody else want to add to that? Okay. See, in Sattva-guna, the attitude is like what you spoke just now. He says that this is my duty and this must be done, whether it's pleasurable or not. Duty must be done. Correct, no? Like for example, if somebody after passing stool, we should take bath under the shower, right now. It's cold winter, but somebody is lazy. No, I don't want to take bath. That's not proper. Sattva-guna means you take bath. You have to do it at any cost. Correct, no? Yeah. Like when examinations are going to come, you have to study. Because if you study well, you will score well, you will get a job, you will get settled. So it is a sign of responsibility. Correct, no? But modern day students, we find many times, they hate the word responsibility. Instead, they like, they are more cheerful for playing. But the results will come in future. Correct, no? Bad results will come. Then they will lament after that. So therefore, you will find when you master the mind, you can tell the mind, hey, my dear mind, this is no more time for playing. 2 hours you have played now. Shut up now. Now you have to come and sit and study. So you can order your mind. So your mind should order you or you will order the mind. So that who is Goswami? One who orders the mind to follow is Goswami, or one who follows the order of the mind is Goswami? Follow the order of the mind. One who orders the mind, yeah. That means you order and who follows? Mind follows. Like you are sitting in a Uber or Ola, sitting behind. If you tell him to take you to NVCC temple and he takes you to liquor shop, is he obedient to you? No. So he should take you to place where you want to go, or he will decide where to go. So people who have uncontrolled mind, they are like the person who is sitting behind, but then his mind is not listening to him. It takes him anywhere he wants, correct, no? Like for example, you are going in Uber. He is putting some cinema song. You can, because you are paying for the journey, you can tell him that, hey, stop the cinema song, put Hare Krishna. Correct, no? That means who is in control? You are in control or he is in control? Yeah. Now that fellow says, no, I can't stop the music, I like it too much. I am going to hear it. You may be Hare Krishna, that's your problem, but you have to hear this music if he says. Then who is in control? He is in control. That means mind is in control, correct, no? So that means when mind becomes master, we are called Godas. When we become master of the mind, we are called Goswami. So you want to be Godas or Goswami? How many of you want to be Goswami? Sure? Okay, yes. Yeah. So that means, you are responsible for certain things in life which you have to be responsible. Yeah. See, your mother is sick. She is requesting you, better take me to your doctor. But you say, no, mom, all my friends are playing out there, you see. You go to doctor yourself. I am going to play, if you say. So are you responsible or are you irresponsible? You understand, no? So therefore, if you master the mind, you will resist your pleasure and put the principle above pleasure. Like in the Kurukshetra battlefield, who was following the principle over pleasure and who wanted pleasure over principle? Who can say? And let us hear from the... please give it to him. Can you give the mic?
The Pandavas were following the principle over
Pleasure.
And the Kauravas.
Yeah.
The Kauravas were following the pleasure.
Pleasure over principle. Haribo. Perfect. Exactly captured that. Huh? That means the Pandavas were responsible. Huh? They were responsible to Krishna. They were responsible to sages and saints. They were responsible to God. We have to act responsibly in our lives, whether we like it or not. Yeah.
In this case, even the pleasure was there, right? Because if they won the war, they would also have pleasure, not only principle.
Yeah, no, that is all right.
So-
See, when you follow the principle Vipradharma Achyuta Ashraya, Bhagavatam says, by following Hari Guru Vaishnavas faithfully, eventually results will come. But they were ready to even lay down their lives if need be for the sake of following Krishna's order. Correct, no? That is what is most appreciated. Eventually happiness came, they became kings of the world. And those people who put pleasure over principle, like Kauravas, they were all destroyed. Eventually, like I told you the example of the A shop and B shop, bakery shops. Correct, no? They are like the foolish shop which was selling the, the fungus item. Correct, no? I was selling it like that. Then I have written another one called behavior. You see, there are two scientists. There is one scientist who created a bomb. When the first dynamite was exploded. Actually, you will see at that time the scientists exclaimed, alas, now we are using a bomb for exploding the mountains. But eventually man may misuse this bomb for exploding the bodies of human people. And that's how the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the bombs were dropped. Even today the radioactive effects are still perceived there. So you can see, here is a scientist who has a asari pravritti. He wants to actually create something to destroy the people. There is another scientist who created Louis Pasteur. You know that what he created? Vaccine, penicillin. He made penicillin. So you can make a life-saving drug tomorrow by becoming a scientist, or you can make a bomb and kill millions of people. Like one scientist created guillotine machine, where you can kill cows in thousands. Like that, That kind of machine he created. Unfortunate, no? Isn't it? On the other hand, scientists can actually do some research and do something wonderful. For example, you have seen how they're building the TOVP, correct, no? Such a huge temple, and we are using the cranes and other things for bringing the big deities like Panchatattva deities, correct, no? So we are able to utilize that. And also we are making a very huge temple hall with so many machines and everything. So you can use science and technology for constructive purpose, godly purpose, aligned with scriptures. Or you can use the same for creating havoc in this world. Correct, no? Both are possible. That's the behavior. So your behavior is going to depend on your attitude. Then I have written difficult situations. Actually, in this world, when very difficult situations come, if you are a devotee, you can tolerate. Correct, no? Prahlad tolerated, Ambarish tolerated. You will see that Pandavas went through the worst of difficulties. But modern day students are not able to withstand difficult situations. Now I'll show you the next few slides. How criminalism is increasing in America. Gun sales are increasing. Suicides are increasing. Because as soon as some difficult situation comes, man wants to put a full stop to difficult situation by committing suicide. You can see that. Whereas when your mind is controlled, like Pandavas' minds are controlled, so they were tolerant. One example I'll tell you. One day in the forest, Yudhishthira Maharaj was lying on the ground in the forest under a tree, and the Brahmanas were chanting in the background Vedic mantras. And the river water was flowing, making sounds. The birds were chirping. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling peaceful and very joyful. And Bhima and Draupadi, they were talking to each other at a little distance. Draupadi said, look at this man. He's supposed to be king of the whole world. He's supposed to wear a crown and sit on an elevated throne. And his head is touching the mud of the forest. And he is still jolly. How surprising it is. Bhima said, Draupadi, you exactly, you echoed my mind. I am also feeling the same way as you. Actually, if elder brother allowed me, I would have killed Dushasana and Duryodhana on the spot in the Sabha when they insulted you. Like that he was saying. So Draupadi said, why not we people leave the forest and go back and attack the Kauravas right now? Only 2 years are over now, she said. Let us go back and attack. At that time, Yudhishthira called both of them and said, Draupadi and Bhima, anger is one letter short of danger. And anger can devour you. So he said, you should never lose your control, he said. He said that the Lord wants us to live in the forest for 12 years now. This is dharma for us. Let us follow this dharma now. When he wants us to sit on the throne, we will sit. When he wants us to be in the forest, we'll be in forest. So you will find here is example of Yudhishthira Maharaj tolerating difficult situations and following the path of dharma, walking the path of dharma without any hesitation, without any burning sensation in the heart. And that is the 7th one. And then the 8th one, how do you respond to success? Do you jump like a monkey when you get success? Or do you get psychosomatic depression when you get failure? Like in India, when Indian cricket team won, they put Krishna Arjuna in that place of Krishna Arjuna, they put Sachin Tendulkar in the place of Arjuna. And they dressed him like Arjuna. Instead of holding a Dhanush and Baan, he was holding a cricket bat. And they decorated with flowers and lights and everything. Because on the next year, Indian match lost. They made effigies of Indian cricketers, and they burned it. Just the opposite reaction, just see. This goes to show the minds of the youths is exactly like monkeys, correct, no? Isn't it? Yeah. So, therefore, success and failure, Krishna, what he says in Gita? Should you jump, he says, in success? What he says? Be balanced. Sometimes you'll get success, sometimes you'll get failure. Don't get depressed. Don't get very elated. What is that verse? Na prakrishyet priyam prapya nodvijet prapya cha priyam sthira buddhi rasam mudho brahmavid brahmani stitaha. He says, na prakrishyet. Don't delight too much. Like one king on his birthday told all the people that if you give me a gift, which is meaningful gift, I will give you the first prize for you, he said. Many people brought big things to king. One fellow brought a simple ring, 10 rupees ring, small ring. So king wore it in the finger, it was exactly fitting. And then when king saw the message in the ring, he gave that fellow the first prize. Anybody knows what was written in there? You know the message? Yeah, yourself?
Once you are happy, after some time you will be sad also.
It was a short statement. You said what you said is correct. Let us hear from him. Yes? Mike, give him the mic. Yeah.
It was written, this moment is going to pass away.
This too shall pass away. It was written. So king liked it. Why? If I have happiness now, it may pass and suffering may come. If suffering is there, this will also pass away. So better not to too much worry about suffering and happiness. Better focus on go back to from Bhuloka to Goloka. Think about the ultimate goal. Like that he learned. So in this way, in success and failure, we should be balanced. 8th one. And when you control the mind means you are balanced. Correct, no? He says, what is it verse? Matra sparashastu kaunteya shitoshnasu kadukkada. He says, and then agamapayino anityas tam sthitikshu. Agama means it will come. Apayana means it will go away. It will come, it will stay, it will go away. Just tolerate, he says. So, therefore, controlled mind means like that. Very balanced. Like Lord Ramachandra was told, tomorrow, Rama, we are going to make you the king of Ayodhya. And the next day he was told, Rama, now you have to go to forest 14 years. And what was the response in Rama's film? Same response. That means he was very balanced. Correct, no? You can see that. 9th one, harmony. You see, we have to live a life in harmony with nature and God. See, nature is mother, God is father. So, eco-friendly lifestyle means nature, align with nature. Now, if you see the modern man is cutting down trees, and then they're realizing the city is becoming divided. It's called deforestation, we call it, for the sake of industrialization. That is one example of man going against nature. Now, I want more examples from all of you. How man is going against nature. Anybody? Yes. Yeah, please go ahead.
By making factories, by cutting down trees. They need space, so then they cut down forests.
Okay, and then one more. Then it's coming, he's bringing, yeah. He's putting chemical effluents in rivers without treating them. If you don't treat them, cows will drink the water and they will get sick and die.
Rivers, land, air. Yeah.
Air pollution also, okay. And then, yes, one more here.
they are cutting down trees. So
Oh, that answer he released.
yeah, and
Nikunj.
then they are
What is your
creating
name?
many
Nikunj, what's the name?
factories.
Yes.
They are creating many factories by which there is no proper irrigation and rain, and then they are artificially putting chemicals in the crowd for artificial rain.
Okay, thank you. And then here,
Then they kill animals, which affects the balance of the system, and then it'll cause all these problems again.
okay, give it him. Next. Actually, killing animals according to Einstein, EPW means Einstein's pain wave theory. What is the theory? The theory says like this. If you kill animals, the animals scream. And the screaming of the animals creates vulnerability in the earth's crust. Einstein said that. Now, this theory has come now, which confirms the same thing. This theory says that what Einstein said is true. And they have already researched and found in all the slaughterhouses in the world, wherever they are there, very close to that earthquakes have happened. Like in Gujarat, there is Bhuj. Very close to Bhuj, there is a big slaughterhouse. And that's where the earthquake also came. This is one evidence. Like that, we can show it. So we find that man goes against God and nature and then invites trouble for the world. Yeah. Like he's sending out carbon monoxide emissions. And they are actually putting a hole in the ozonosphere. Who knows what is ozonosphere? You know that around the earth? So what is the advantage of ozonosphere? UV rays will not harm us. But when man sends carbon monoxide, it makes holes in the ozonosphere. Due to which what is coming inside? Skin cancer and all comes because of the UV radiation coming in. Correct, no? So man is intelligent or foolish? That's the point. There's one more.
Yes, the factories release waste into the water that causes harm to the aquatic animals.
That's a very good point. The factory effluents cause harm to aquatics. And also the honey bees, they lose their direction because of the, this thing. What do you call it? Yes. And one more? Yes, please.
Water is, the garbage is thrown in water. A lot of garbage.
Correct. That's true, yeah. So that is similar to the chemical one. One last thing.
They overuse the resources they have, and because of that, in the end, there's a theory that when resources are overused, wars and natural disasters happen more, because the earth reaches a limit where the people are using the resources, but earth cannot produce at the level which they're using, and that causes the...
Okay, let us put it very more simply, what he says. You see, man removed the bulls and he brought tractors. Very fastly it can do work. Then bulls went out of job. So where they send them? To slaughterhouse. They sent to slaughterhouse. Then the tractor was also plowing. Tractor was also throwing seeds. The tractor was also harvesting. The farmers went out of job. So what were the farmers doing? They started playing cards. They started watching movies. They started drinking liquor. They started forming political parties in villages and fighting with one another, killing one another like that, because they become jobless. Understand, no? And now the tractor can plow fast and put the seeds, and then rains were not coming. Then they took water wherever they got it, and then they put it in dam and they were sending water. Now water is there, seeds are there, but the growth is very slow. So what they did? Put all kinds of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers they put to grow it very fast. And then the fruits are coming, bananas are green in color, but they want to sell it in the market very quickly. So what they will do? Put smoke. They put smoke in that, and so outside it will become yellowish. It will look like yellow, but inside it will be chow 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 like that. No taste at all. It's because the fruits require what for taste? Who knows? Juices. Where do you get the juices from? From moon. Pushnami chaushadhi sarva soma bhutva rasatmaka. That they are not allowing time for that. They are putting it in chambers and putting smoke and selling it in the market, looking yellow but no taste at all. So in this way, man is going against nature. But one very important thing has not come out, which I will tell you, which Prabhupada says in Bhagavatam. He says that man, nature and God, this is like a triangle. If you want nature to cooperate with you, you have to cooperate with God. Like if you follow what Krishna says, then Krishna will smile. When Krishna smiles, then nature will smile. When nature smiles, Kamam Vavarsha Parjanyaha Sarva Kama Dughamahi Shishichusma Prajan Gavaha Payaso Udaswatir Muda. There's one verse. He says here, in Yudhishthira Maharaj's time, the cows were smiling and running here and there. Their udders were full with fatty bags of milk. The milk would pour to the ground and it will make milk kitchen on the ground. They were running happily here and there. And the rivers are full of water. The rains would pour down from the sky exactly in the night time when people are going to sleep. Morning when people would wake up, they will find water, abundant water in the fields and everything. And the ocean produced Navaratnas also. And the mountains produce gold, silver, diamond and everything. And you go to the garden, you find blue blossoming flowers which are fragrant. Trees are full of ripened fruits. And people are very happy. There was no corona or pandemic. Yeah. And also husband and wives are living happily. Parents and children are obedient to the parents. Prabhupada says the children were grateful. And the father was protective. And the wife was chaste. It was a very, very happy society. And Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adhidevika, they were practically unheard of. Like that Prabhupada explains. In Yudhishthira Maharaj times. And then Prabhupada says, the nature was paying tax to the king, he says, in the form of all these things which I told you now. But why the nature paid tax to king? Because he was following God's order. And so Krishna says, 9.10, who knows the verse? Bhagavad Gita. Anybody knows the verse? 9.10? Maya adhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. I am the adhyaksha of the prakriti, is saying. I am the, see, Adi means above, Aksha means eyes. So my eyes are above. From the top I am watching prakriti. Like the sun and moon are whose eyes? Krishna's eyes. And he is watching the prakriti, and by the sun is producing rains, grains, fruits, cereals, spices, everything. And with another eye, cooling eye, he produces 6 types of juices. So in this way, with sun and moon eye, he is making the nature award everything to the living entity. So you please Krishna, and Krishna orders nature, and nature provides everything, and the cycle is complete, and lead a happy life. And then Prabhupada is asking, what is the need for slaughterhouses, clubs, brothels, beer bars, cinema theaters, liquor, cigarette? What is the need for all these things, he's saying. So how many of you appreciate this question? Last question what Prabhupada is saying, correct, no? Is there need for slaughterhouses? Is there need for cinema theater? Is there need for a liquor shop? Is there a need for brothel, beer bars and permit rooms? And all these things, and casinos for playing gambling. Basically, modern man considers all the breaking of the 4 regulative principles to be advancement, foolishly. So you all understand the point? So that's the point of harmony. Harmony means harmony with mother and father. Who are the mother and father? Yeah. Yes. Mother and father, nature and God. It's clear, no? There's another mother and father also. Anybody can say for a Vaishya, working in the field, for him, who is the mother and father? Cow and the bull. Why cow is mother? Who can say? Because she gives milk, and we drink milk and nourish our brain tissues, isn't it? And why is bull considered father? Because by his plowing only you bring grains, fruits, cereals, everything. So father brings grocery, and mother gives milk. Therefore, mother and father, cow and bull, correct, no? Yeah. And the last one, loved by all. Yudhishthira Maharaj was loved by all citizens, especially because the sages and saints greatly loved him. They thought that this is a Rajarishi king, faithful king. So he became loved by one and all by aligning with Krishna's orders. On the contrary, you find Duryodhana, he created a great anxiety to all the people because of his greed. You can see that. So Yudhishthira had a controlled mind, managed mind. So the 10 items, each of it I explained to you now. Now it will go very fast now. See, modern day advanced, I can have this one, but modern day advanced society has many facilities. People are very proud of their aeroplanes. But we have to also remember the alarming facts. What is on the rise, if you see? See, violence. All this is increasing now. And this is what Prabhupada challenged when he went to America. He asked, what is this? You guys have so much dollar notes, you have broad roads, you have tall buildings. But still, all these things are rising in your country. Is it a sign of progress? Huh? Yeah. See, there are wars. Huh? See, US prison population is increasing. See, in US, the population is like now probably about, 20 to 30 crores now. 30 crores, it must be max, I think. How much? 330 million means 33 crores. And 332 million, huh? Yeah. That means, correct. It's 3 crores. Yeah. 30 crores now. See, America has 30 crore population and they have 1.5 lakh jails. They have. That comes to, and India has a population of 148 crores now, close to 150 crores now. So India has 150 crores, America has 30 crores. So India is 5 times the population of America. That means jail must be how much in India? 5 into 1.5? Quick mathematics. You need a calculator? Huh? Yeah, then 7.5 lakh. But do you know how many jails we have in India? Only 50,000. Because of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Recently I went to Bhubaneswar, Denkanal. So the devotees told me that, Prabhuji, today is a special program. They said, I asked, what is it? They said, Prabhu, we are taking you to jail. They said, oh, jail? I was afraid. First time you are going to jail, huh? You have never seen inside. And then we went to the jail and they have big, thick doors and all they have. Huh? They opened it and took us inside. We met the police, sub-inspector, everybody. They asked them, who are the fellows inside to whom you are going to take me? He said, there are different types of people. Those who are chore, thieves. If they have done small pickpocketing and all, we keep for 2-3 years. And if they have done big bank robbery and things like that, we keep for 7-8 years. And drug addiction and all, if they have done another 7-8 years, we keep. And somebody has raped a woman and all, we keep 15 years. As he said. Somebody has murdered somebody, we keep 15 years, he said. Then I asked, please tell me which categories are inside. He said, all are there. Said, So then they took me inside. So when I went and sat, all the police officers were sitting in 6-8 seats, they were sitting. And below almost 250 thieves. 250 people, prisoners came and sat. Some of them had little chandan kumkum also they had. Some of them. And there were also Mataji thieves also. They were about some 8-10 of them. They were also there. And when I was doing Hare Krishna mantra, they were doing this ulukal. They do know in Bengal. They were also doing. What do you call that? Auspicious sign, yeah. So they were doing also. Then after that, I gave a lecture on Ajamila. Whole lecture I spoke. They were silently sitting and listening nicely. So in between, one of the fellows got up and he was slowly coming behind me. I was a little afraid. Where are you going? So the police said, don't worry, he's the leader of the thieves. Good fellow. He's a class representative. He wanted, so he was taking a camera and clicking for the photo and the things he was taking. Then after I finished, one fellow said, I have a question. All of them clapped hands because they have, amongst them he's like a intelligent fellow, inquisitive fellow. He asked me, what is the proof that Yamadutas exist? He asked me. Then I told him, see, when you did theory, police people came, right? He said, yes. Just like police come in this world, Yamadutas are police constables of Yamaraj. For those who have committed sin, they will come. I said, oh, a very good point. Thank you. He said, he understood. Because his experience of police catching him. Correct, no? Then I gave out malas. We brought only 120 malas. All 120 malas got over. Everybody took promise to chant one round. Then after that, and we had dancing kirtan also. They were all dancing in circles. Beautifully. Then while leaving, the police people, the officers told me, Swamiji, in 4 months, there is such a transformation in these people. Your people are coming only once in a month for doing a 3-hour program. In 4 months, he said, every evening when I go for rounds, I find this thief sitting in circle and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. They are chanting and they are also reading Bhagavad Gita. We gave one copy free Bhagavad Gita to them. They are reading a few pages and they are chanting. And then he told me a very important, interesting thing. He said, earlier when the thieves will go out of the jail after 5-6 years, they will want to take vengeance against those people who showed Sakshi for them. They'll go and hit them, attack them, break their bones and things like that they would do. But he said, now when these thieves are reading Bhagavad Gita and all these things, I am seeing a big change of heart in them. Correct, no? And this is why in India the jails are less. You understand, no? Because people read Ramayana. He said in India people fear to do criminal activities, he said. Unlike the other countries where they don't have sanskaras. You understand the point, no? So just we have 50,000 jails for 150 crore people. You can imagine. And there we have for 30 crore people, we have 1.5 lakh jails. You can see that. See, gun sales is reducing or increasing? See here. Murder is increasing. Before finishing school, an average child is watching how many murders? Yeah. They put one small kid, 5-year-old kid in a room, and they kept a lot of toys. So he took a knife and he started stabbing the teddy bear. Just 5-year-old kid. Because he's watched in the TV. He's just copying it. Correct, no? Yeah, they say 10,000 acts of violence. Yeah, it's all increasing. Yeah. Why is there so much chaos and confusion in society? It's all uncontrolled mind. You see? These are the bad things that happens by uncontrolled mind. Loss of trust, madness, depression, stress, hypertension, all these things. And the result is all these things, you see. See, if you put a pack of dogs in a room, can they be peaceful? Yes. Who said that? Yes. They'll be peaceful? They're trained. Otherwise, they'll tear one another, isn't it? So, our uncontrolled mind is like an uncontrolled dog, you see. How can we expect peace and happiness in such a world? You see, the eagle is crying. Why the eagle is put here? America is like an eagle, very powerful country that cried in September 11 when there was a crash, isn't it? Yeah. So we see, although they have Pentagon and all those things, still with all their defense system, they are not able to stop the criminal activities. Correct, no? So solution to all the problems is controlled mind. I'll just show you one thing. See, I showed you this.
It's so huge.
The sound is not coming.
Right there.
When you're hitting it. Can you walk closer? Set it in his nose. Some food. Okay, do it, Dave. In his nose. He's got a nose full of money. Okay, get under there. There you go. Okay, Rach, you're up. Yeah, nice. Another one.
He's strong, isn't he? Or she's strong.
One is carrying Lord in the back. So I showed you both good elephant and mad elephant. Both I showed you. So mind is compared to Pramati, Krishna says, Pramati means like an elephant. Very powerful. So you want your mind to be like which one? First set of elephants or the second set? Correct? Isn't it? See, let's go and come to the solution now. Control mind. See, this is gross body, there is subtle body, and there is. So where is the mind? In gross body or subtle body? Where is it? Subtle body is. What is the yellow one? Yellow one? You are seeing? You all know this, right? You are the yellow one is the soul. And over you, there are, just like you are wearing a shirt and a banyan over your body. Similarly, over the soul, there is a gross body and subtle body. So anybody knows at the time of death what happens? Who knows? At the time of death what happens? Give it to him? Yeah, let us see. Yeah, he is saying? Yeah. The mic?
When at death, the subtle body exits the subtle body exits the gross body, and then the soul goes into somewhere else, into a new body.
Yeah, so in subtle body, what is stored at the time of death? What is stored? Stored in the subtle body. There is a Durgandha Vasanas and Sugandha Vasanas, we say. See, Sugandha Vasanas in the mind, mind intelligence ego goes with the soul like this. At the time you are carrying good and bad vibrations, good desires and bad desires. So it's like in the forest, sometimes you have a impure smell coming, sometimes fragrant flower smell coming. Similarly, good and bad. So accordingly, our desires take us to the next body. Clear, no? That means subtle body is called body of desires. We have to purify it. If you don't purify it, we have to take body after body. Okay? Yeah, you know this famous verse, Dehino Smrita Dehe. Yeah, like you change so many bodies. You see this one here. See? So we keep on changing many, many bodies, one species to another, we keep moving according to our desires. Yeah. So the mechanism of the mind is shown here. See, the mind is like this one, you see here. Like this palm here. Here, you seeing my hand here? See here. Like this. Shrotram, Chakshus, Parshanam, Rasanam, Graname, Adhishtaya, Manashchaya, Mashyan, Upasevate, he says. Mind is like this palm, and all of them are feeding the mind. Like you see a cinema poster, puts it here in the mind. You hear some nice song, puts in the mind. So all the five senses are supplying. One is ear, second, mouth, fourth, and skin. All five are supplying to which place? Mind. That's what I have shown here. It's a storehouse of thoughts and unfulfilled desires and previous experiences. And then the mind consults the intelligence for advice. What I should do with all these things. He consults like this, as you see here. So, in a computer, how many of you know in a computer what is CPU meant for? Yes, what is CPU meant for? Yes? Yes, it processes all the data. It's like the decision giver. Correct? Yeah. And the mind is like a hard disk. Correct? Now the sensors are like servo motors. Servo motors, linear and rotary. In a what do you call it, microprocessing device. In a microprocessor, whatever program you write, the servo motors move in linear or rotary direction like that. Like my hands and legs are like servo motors. And mind is like the hard disk or the microprocessor. Here, whatever I process, accordingly my hand will do. Like for example, if you see this Nalakur Manigriv, they are taking a liquor bottle in the hand. They're drinking, going to Mandakini Ganga, correct? No? Because the program is an impure program here. Later on, after seeing Krishna, then they said, with the same hand, we will offer a garland to Krishna. They said. So therefore, yeah. You know this example? Horse are compared to 5 senses. And the ropes are compared to mind. And the intelligence is compared to? Yeah. And the white fellow sitting behind? So the chariot of the body is the same. From here onwards, very easy solutions are given. Controlled mind is your friend, uncontrolled mind is your enemy.
Let's talk about self-management, a set of skills that are critical to kids' success in school and beyond. Self-management has several names and many concepts associated with it. We're also going to talk about it in terms of marshmallows, stop signs, squeezy balls, and teaching. Let's start with the marshmallows. In the late 1960s, a Stanford professor named Walter Mischel wanted to gauge young children's ability to delay gratification, so he conducted a groundbreaking self-management experiment. He and his researchers took preschool kids and sat them in a room in front of a marshmallow or other treat. The researcher would say, "I'm going to leave for 15 minutes. If you would like to eat the marshmallow, then eat it. If you can wait until I come back, I'll give you a second one and you can eat them both." That's it. That was the whole experiment. Michelle found that despite their best efforts, 2/3 of the kids ate the marshmallow before the researcher came back. In the years since then, the experiment has been copied many times with kids from different communities, ethnicities, and backgrounds in a range of countries all over the world. Typically, 2/3 of the kids eat the marshmallow. Here's where the results of Michelle's experiment get really interesting. After running the experiment a bunch of times in California, his team tracked down all the Marshmallow Test kits they could find 10 years later, and 20 years, and 30, and 40, and they found some startling results. The kids who were able to wait for the second treat scored better on the SATs, once you control for IQ, were rated as more academically and socially competent by their parents, and had a greater ability to plan, handle stress, and concentrate without becoming distracted, even decades later. There has been a bunch of research that builds on or extends these findings. One larger, more comprehensive study followed 1,000 children born in the early 70s in Dunedin, New Zealand. Focusing on self-management, researchers interviewed the children as they grew from 4 to 11. They also gave questionnaires to parents, teachers, and peers. Then they tracked down the original kids when they were in their 30s. They found that the children's ratings on self-management between the ages of 4 and 11 correlated with whether or not they were high school or college graduates, addicted to alcohol or drugs, economically stable or living paycheck to paycheck, involved in criminal activity. All these results lead to one big question. What does this mean for the kids who ate the first marshmallow? For that matter, what does it mean for the kids who don't have self-management between the ages of 4 and 11? Does this mean if the child hasn't developed the right self-management skills early, her whole life path is much worse? Here's what Walter Mischel says about this exact issue.
We're talking about correlations that are significant. We're not talking about a destiny for an individual. So I want to be very clear that a branding would be completely missing the point, particularly since the most exciting findings about the marshmallow experiments are the ease with which it is possible to change an individual's ability to delay gratification.
And there are ways to do that.
There are very straightforward ways to do it that connect with how the brain works. The interpretation to be taken from the findings is that this is an enormously important skill. It has predictive qualities. It has protective effects, but it is teachable. It is changeable.
In fact, Mischel showed that self-management could be taught in an experiment similar to the Marshmallow Test. In this version, researchers gave the kids helpful ideas before the test. They said, imagine the marshmallow is actually a flat picture, or a cloud, or there is a bug crawling on it. Suddenly, the kids could wait far longer. So there are strategies and techniques you can give kids to help them nurture and grow their self-management muscles, many of which can help students in longer-lasting, more profound ways. These strategies extend beyond envision.
Eat meat. Correct? It is bad. Just like the marshmallow has ant over it. It's dirty. We should not eat it. So you understand it like that. Correct now? So then you are able to resist the temptation of eating it. Like sometimes certain eatables are not good. For cocoa chocolate, for example, is very tasty. But you saw your friend losing all the tooth. Then you may not want to eat it. Correct? Now you know it has a bad effect. So by knowing the consequence, that's what he's saying. But one interesting thing he says that you can increase your ability to resist bad things. Now he's going to give a very great secret. It's coming now, just now.
Differently. They involve teaching kids to avoid certain situations, modify their surroundings to reduce distractions, manage their emotions constructively, shift their attention, organize to complete tasks, and plan how to overcome obstacles that may arise. Still, despite growing research on the topic, we're in the early days of learning the best ways to help students build self-management skills. The techniques that work, or even just what to focus on, can vary from student to student in a single class. But one thing we do know is this. Teachers in the classroom and parents at home tend to notice self-management issues the most when something goes wrong. A student who loses track of his assignments and comes to class unprepared. A student who constantly interrupts peers and teachers. A student who fidgets constantly and can't focus in the classroom. This could be any kid, at any age, at any ability level. What adults normally do is see this behavior and tell the student to stop. Stop messing around, you have to do your homework. Stop fidgeting. Or like in Michelle's experiment, don't eat the marshmallow. Now, when you do that, you're basically telling the child you have to stop, and you have to figure out how to do it. You've just put it all on the child. And the problem is, maybe the child doesn't know how. For whatever reason, they never learned this particular self-management skill. Saying stop doesn't fix that. So what if rather than saying stop, you say, instead of what you're doing now, which isn't working too well, why don't you do this? For that kid who is fidgeting all the time, what if you give him a squeezy ball and say, squeeze this ball as much as you want because you need to do something with your hands and that will make it easier for you to pay attention in class. Instead of just saying stop or no, you're saying, here's a strategy to try. One of the findings of the original Marshmallow Test is that it's primarily a test of whether a child has learned particular self-management strategies. Kids who stare at the marshmallow and simply try their hardest not to eat it, well, they pretty much always eat it. The kids who have a strategy to shift their attention by singing a song, walking around, putting their forehead on the table, covering their eyes, or any number of things are best able to wait for the second marshmallow. As we now know, shifting attention is one of a broad range of self-management strategies. What works and what to focus on can vary from child to child, but the self-management strategies as a whole are teachable, and like muscles, they can be strengthened in all students.
So, what is the solution he gave? Who heard it well? What is the easy solution for managing our demands of our mind. He said, okay, let us give one mic here, one mic there. Yeah, we can take one answer here, one answer there. Yeah, yes.
The best way is that you should not tell stop or no. You should give another strategy, like change the direction to a better direction.
Very good. And then your side? Yes.
Yeah, so it's more or less the same point, but you should not tell them to stop, because as he said in the video as well, if you tell them to stop, it's like, yeah, I'm telling you to stop, you figure out how to stop it. That's not my problem how you'll stop it. So giving alternatives.
So as a follower of Srila Prabhupada Krishna consciousness movement, how do you think ISKCON is helping you to, avoid the bad activities based on this principle what is being spoken here? Yeah. Yes.
Instead of eating non-veg, we can eat prasad.
Okay.
I want to add in this point that we can have desire to eat pizza. So Govinda's is there, so we can order a pizza.
Very good, very good. Okay. Yes. Give the mic to him.
In Krishna consciousness, they say, yes, don't do this, don't do that. But then they also give the solution to that. Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita tells don't do this, don't do that, and at the same time it's giving the solution.
Positive. So what are some of the positive you can think of?
Like he said, the no meat eating, we have Govinda's Prasada. Then don't listen to like bad music. We have Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the kirtans.
Yeah, correct. Thank you. And then anybody else want to add anything to this? Very good. Yeah, yes.
In most of the lectures, I've heard that the work we do every time, they give an example of Amrish Maharaj, as he would use his legs He would use his legs for going to different.
Beautiful. See, he quoted a very good example. Amrish Maharaj's example. He would use his legs to go to temple, and he would use his hands to cleanse the temple, use his eyes to see the deities, use his ears to hear Krishna Katha, use his mouth to glorify the Lord and take prasad, correct, no? So used all his senses in. Where BMS, in those days, small children used to do one song. I use my eyes to see Krishna. You have seen that? See Krishna, I use my eyes to see him. I use my ears to hear about Krishna. Any of you did that you didn't do that. I think smaller children, you did that, Acha. They all have done it. I have seen you doing it when you were small, correct, no? Yeah. So that exactly says what he said now. Brilliant. One applause for him. Very good. So in this way, a dozen things are given there, which is a very good, diversion from dangerous engagement. So there is a harmful recreation, there is harmless recreation. So any of you can give me some examples of harmful recreations? Harmful recreation.
Well, gambling is very harmful because anyhow you tend to, how much ever luck you might have, you tend to lose money on it, because at the first, if you go to a casino, they'll allow you to win a lot, and then you'll get addicted to it, and then you'll start betting your whole life in it. And yeah, so it's
very good. And then any other harmful recreation? No other harmful recreation? Yeah, yes, give it to him.
That if once they start drinking, then they drink
become
only, then
alcoholic.
they get
correct.
cancer, all that.
Correct. They become alcoholic. They can't give it up. Like people become chain smokers or alcoholics or drug addicts like that. Yeah, yes. One more.
Is also in the shops. Sometimes they sell the thing. If it is a 400, they just make it lower to 399, so it looks like it's like only 300.
And then they cheat you with that. Okay. So yeah, there is one more hand up. Is it? Yeah, please give the mic to him. Yeah.
example, for gambling, I said that they would, in the end, they'll waste money. The same way for meat eating, because of eating meat, they'll not be able to digest. They'll get heart attacks when they grow up. And then for illicit sex, yeah, they'll get AIDS and such diseases.
Sexually
for
transmitted
that.
diseases,
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, every one of those. For
So all of you now,
incidents.
because you're devotees, if you know these things, then you will save yourself from going in the wrong direction. And on the positive side, he just now said, we have so many engagements, like Ambarish Maharaj used to have engagements, more than a dozen engagements. So, and in this way, what this fellow is saying in this movie, I mean, this video we saw, is already very beautifully applied in our movement. Correct now? Yeah. Thank you. Instead of going and dancing in discotheque, we dance in the temple. Instead of hearing rock music, we hear very soothing music. Correct now? We have a good substitute. So that's what you see. When you conquer the mind like this, mind becomes best of friends. If you haven't conquered, it becomes worst of enemies. Yeah? Like the same knife can be used for killing a man or saving a patient, you see, by a surgeon. So I've given some examples of self-management. You see a lot of gulab jamuns. They only say limited, only 2. So how many of you will be happy to accept limited and go on? Very good. Self-controlled boys. Huh? Is it? Yeah. Similarly, sitting in the your favorite friend is offering you a cigarette. How many of you will say no to him? Yeah. You require self-management for that. Your teacher is telling, all of you children, all of you write your exams peacefully. I have a half an hour work to do. Don't copy from your friends, and I'm going and coming after half an hour. How many of you will not copy? Only half of them are okay. Yeah. See, you got 93 marks in mathematics and you were very surprised because you appeared in the exam only for 80 marks. How can you get 93? Huh? Later on, they re-announced and said, sorry, it was a computer mistake. You got 39 instead of 93. After confirming that 93 was a computer mistake. So how would you deal with it when all your friends ask about your score in maths? Hey, did you get 93? Did you get 93? Everybody is asking. So how will you deal with it? Yes? What will you do?
Well, you wouldn't want to humiliate yourself as well. So stay away. I think that's the best thing. Stay away from your friends for some time till the exam results season goes.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Actually, you can tell your friend, I actually studied only for 80 marks only. But next time I can crack even centum also. Don't worry, you tell him. Yeah. See, mind accesses world outside through 5 knowledge senses. This is how I told you. Remember Gigo principle. I told you about the rat example before also. No? See, this rat and this fish and all, they become victim and they die also, correct now? Because of uncontrolled senses. But man actually, for them it's food. For man, even unwanted things also he takes. You see? He takes all these drugs and cigarette and all these things and all. So this is a Gigo principle. Garbage in, garbage out. Good in. So we should take the good in. So how do you take good in? Read books like Bhagavad Gita. Watch movies like what Chaupati has more than 100 dramas, correct, no? Can watch. And sing Hare Krishna music. Keep devotee friends, correct, no? This is... Uncontrolled mind leads to bad habits that affect your career. See here. See, the company people are saying, we will give it to Shiva Chandra Prabhu. You read it, give him. Read what he is saying.
He has no control over his eating. How can he be fit to work? He never comes to work fresh. What use is he to us?
He's drinking liquor. Next one.
Every 1 hour he goes for 15 minutes smoke break. That 25% productivity lost. He is always unwell. I cannot rely on him for anything.
He's on medicines always.
He gets into unnecessary affairs and cannot work with anyone professionally. He has a broken marriage because of his habit. He is not attentive at work. He is a spoiled brat. He cannot be nice to anyone at work. He has too many physiological issues and never looks confident at work. Should I recruit him or should I look for someone with good habits?
So companies are looking for people who have practiced the self-management. So these kind of problems are faced, you see. So it's in your hand how you lead your life. If you are a good self-manager, you will be most welcomed. Yeah. So mind and intelligence have a tug of war. If we fail to strengthen our intelligence by wisdom of Gita, you can see this. Last one. Okay. See what mind says, what intelligence says. Please quickly read it. Yeah.
Mind feels. I'm an engineer. I should know how I hold a cigar at least. Intelligent things. But that's a bad habit. Not good for you. Your parents won't like to see you doing this. You may become addicted to it. Don't get into wrong track. Mind feels. I think it's fun. Everyone is doing it anyway. I should experience what life at least once. But you fool, why don't you hurt yourself by this? Why do you hurt yourself by this bad habit? And that wastes your money, ruins your good health, and may cause you cancer in the future. Stop it. Don't even dream about it. If mind is stronger, mind wins. You succumb to bad habit. If intelligence is stronger, you can resist the temptation.
So therefore, all of you devotees tell me, how will you strengthen your intelligence? By studying Bhagavad Gita, by studying scriptures, you get discrimination. Viveka buddhi you get. So you should follow mind or the intelligence? Intelligence. Intelligence subdue the mind. Huh? So techniques for mastering the mind. Don't allow the senses to wander. Withdraw them. Yeah, this is about the distraction. That if you want to hear Gauranga Prabhu spoke on distraction, from there I got these 4 points: dopamine, endorphin, serotonin, oxytocin. These are all important hormones which are not secreting because of too much of media use. He's saying. So associate with good friends who walk the righteous path, read nice books, spiritual books like this, chant Hare Krishna, that's all. Loudly chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, we have given on the mantra. What is mantra? This you know very well. You're showing, no, Sharpo? Thank you very much. So I'm sorry for the delay because we had a very good participation by all of you. I got a little delayed. So how many of you enjoyed it today? Huh? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I can give. We'll put Kirtan. Kirtan can be going on for the other. What time it starts? No. This is boys. So they're coming here, not online. Okay. Haribo. First class. Haribo. Very nice participation by all of you. Wonderful participation. Thank you. Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Tell me your names. Krishna. Very sweet name. Please tell me your names and take it. Samarth.
Hare Krishna boys, come quickly. Prabhuji has another program, and please tell your name to Prabhuji before taking prasad. Also, we are having kachoris for everyone. So they are there at the other end. Gopal Prabhu will give that. So please don't go without taking kachoris.
Nanda Krishna, I know very well. My good name? Jagannath, yeah. Good name? One more Krishna is there, eh? There are two Krishnas.
Krishna, Nanda Krishna.
Acha, Nanda Krishna and Krishna, okay. I know Gopal. Yes.
Hare Krishna boys, just before we leave, we'd like